Thanks for everyone's patience while we try and sort out the technical difficulties. I assume you all can hear me. I guess I should probably figure out if that's not working now also. I've tried changing the screen resolution. I've tried using something other than OBS, and it continues to do what you're seeing on screen now. So we'll see if I can work this out somehow. I'm going to try and stop the stream and then maybe start it again after having changed the resolution, and then maybe YouTube will like it more. Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks for joining. Thank you for your patience. I'm kind of determined to do this, at least see if I can work out the kinks. Yeah, stand by and we'll try and get this worked out. Great, so that works well enough, but then when we actually go to launch the game and go into full screen, it seems to revert it back to whatever it's doing. Oh, wait. Ha ha ha. That's right, you scoundrel, you fiend, you dastardly... Okay, that's fine, it's good. It's working, I'm happy now. Alright, so finally we have a little bit of success. This looks to be finally operating correctly-ish. I'm not sure why YouTube, the live dashboard, still says that I'm at 4K, which is what my monitor is normally set up as, but I just changed it to 1440p. At least on the preview, it looks as though it is full screen appropriately. So if anybody can chime in if you are seeing it displaying properly, which I think it should be at this point. Haha, so okay, so it looks good for you guys. I don't know why it still says that it's not correct, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll with this because it looks good to me. Also, let's just... gonna play with the levels just slightly. That way... Audio-wise, is it good? As far as the levels, I kind of lowered the game audio a bit, so it's a little bit more even with my mic audio. put a little FPS counter up there because I am kind of I'm one of those guys performance-wise where I just like to know, make sure I'm getting good frames. I'm playing on a GTX 1080 Ti and playing at 1440p, so we should be pretty good on that. Otherwise, it's ultra everything, fade touched, textures, etc., etc. Okay, cool, good. Stream health looks good. We'll go ahead and get started here shortly. Last thing I want to do is just tweet this out one more time that it's actually like for real working. Then we'll go ahead and get started. I imagine the sound of my keyboard just now was deafening as I typed. So, good to have everyone. I guess now would be a good time to say hello and welcome to the Exalted March. We're going to be playing Dragon Age Inquisition, Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts, which is one of my favorite quests in Dragon Age Inquisition. We were actually just discussing it on the recording of the podcast today. That episode will be coming out Friday. And yeah, whenever we do a Dragon Age episode, I just kind of get the urge to play Dragon Age. One of them, sometimes Origins, sometimes Inquisition, every now and then even DA2. And so today we were talking about this particular quest, the political intrigue of the Winter Palace, the assassination plots, the choice between Gaspard, Celene, Briala, and I don't know, I just felt a little nostalgic. So this is Emma Llewellyn, my elf mage character. And I've got a multitude of mods on there. I don't remember them, and I will try and get the list of mods that are used if I can. Whew, that frame rate is pretty tough, it looks like. So I'm not happy with how good the frame rate is. This quest always gives me the eyes wide shut vibes. I don't know if I get eyes wide shut vibes from this one exactly. Alright, so hopefully the frame rate's not too uneven. I do kind of feel like it's jumping around a little bit. I don't know how noticeable it is for the stream. It's a little bit choppy compared to what I'm used to, and I think it's mainly just CPU utilization. So I haven't done much streaming before in the past. Of course, we did the sort of celebration 1-year anniversary stream, myself and Katie, and I am, on the fence about streaming. I might start to do a little bit more of it. I think normally when I'm playing story-driven games like this, finding the balance of commentary, but also kind of, letting myself and you all kind of enjoy the story and the cutscenes, finding that balance kind of takes time. And so, still...
Did you see the message I sent?
Still a mixture that I'm getting right.
Thank you.
An assassin is stalking the Empress. Celene's death would plunge Orlais into chaos, leaving it an easy target for Corypheus. At the Winter Palace of Halam Shiral, Celene is holding peace talks with her rebellious cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard, under the guise of a grand ball. Every noble in the Empire will attend, making it the perfect place and time for Corypheus's assassin to strike. We can arrange an invitation to attend to keep him from destroying Orlais if we hurry.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celene will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
So you will notice a couple of mods there for some of the characters there, Josephine in particular. Also, I don't know just how clacky my keyboard is. I use a mechanical keyboard. It's pretty noticeable. If the sound is absolutely unbearable, I can always try switching to a controller. Just let me know if the sound is completely infuriating.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celene is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celene is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been emperor. He's Celene's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celene outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
So again, thanks everybody for joining. Again, we're playing Wicked Eyes, Wicked Hearts, one of my favorite quests in DAI, and I see you guys talking about who we could bring for something like this. I see Cassandra, Varric, and Vivian. Cassandra, Sarah, and Dorian. To me, bringing Sarah is always kind of hilarious because she's really sort of out of place, kind of similar to how Iron Bull would be in these sorts of settings, which, you know, that can be fun.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celene's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celene's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Yeah, monochrome, with the comment, Cullen looks really weird with the mod. I think I forgot what vanilla Cullen even looks like at this point. I've pretty much modded Cullen, I think, every single playthrough. So, yeah, and I think Josephine has also been modded most of the times that I've played recently. So, and honestly, I didn't even look where I typically would for mods. Right. Yeah, which is this is such a great question, and I mean it preempts the entire notion of the quest, so it's one of those, you know, immersion versus narrative impact things. But the whole, why don't we just warn them? Why do we have to go to stop an assassin? But anyway, it's one of those. If you really want that question answered in a realistic way, you wouldn't be playing the quest you're playing.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
How shall I mean, part of this is just also, I mean, occasionally normally I just consider it from a combat balance standpoint, but for this particular quest, I don't feel like that's as relevant. I kind of feel like Cassandra is viable and useful within the setting. Why don't I have Vivian? What a great question. So eventually, you know, I always thought that the decision to have Vivian, like, they actually let you choose, you know, all of the different party members that you actually want to bring in, and I was always tempted to have a character that just told Vivian to get lost. And so this character ended up being that character. I like Vivian as a character. I really do. There have been playthroughs. I think my first playthrough, I wasn't too keen on her, and then just kind of the role-playing angle that I took with a couple of characters. After that, I like Viv quite a bit. But there was this character in particular, which is a mage character and an elven character, and who is wary of pro-Chantry people. I mean, she's wary of Cassandra for those reasons, but yeah, I guess just the simplest way to put it is she didn't trust Vivienne. She didn't trust Bull either. For the questions of why is Bull not there either. Yeah, she didn't trust the person who's sort of openly calling himself a spy, and she didn't trust Vivienne as someone who is sort of like openly advocating for more of the status quo. So those are not decisions that I would make like in my canon playthroughs, because I love both of those characters. I just like having them along. I've just realized that throughout the entire time of playing Mass Effect games, like, you know, you have the option to never bring Garrus or Rex along in Mass Effect 1, for instance, and we just never take those. And so at some point I was just like, I should have a playthrough where I sort of let the role play aspect of it dictate who I'm going to bring along. So, oh yeah, wait, no, Iron Bull is there. So yeah, Vivienne was particularly the one where I was like, yeah, I wanted to do a playthrough where I don't get Viv. And I like Dorian. I just think Dorian, you know, he enjoys himself at this party, so why shouldn't he be there? Solus. Should we do Solus for our third, or should we do... Well, it'd be pretty magey if it just, because we really kind of maybe need more of a rogue character. Maybe Varric. Yeah, let's go ahead and go with Varric. Just because I like Varric so damn much. Alright, so we're going to roll with Cassandra, Dorian, and Varric. Monochrome, I totally agree with you. Yeah, Vivienne really does have that vibe, but that's what makes her so interesting and challenging as a character, is that she says things that you may not agree with, but she argues quite well for them. I have been noticing the load times have gotten inordinately long on this build, and I think that's probably just due to some of the mod loads I have.
The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
It is a great pleasure to meet you, Inquisitor Lavellen.
I seriously didn't even remember which mod I had for the formal attire.
Battled an army of demons.
I'm not even sure I like the one that I have right now.
Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Yeah, I'm going to play this a little more, I don't know if we would call it neutral, but a little more of this, whatever this is, whatever you want to call it.
And which one was the rightful one again?
It's a good question.
I'm confused.
The handsome, charming one, of course, my lady. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
I can't imagine that crowd has seen anything better than us in their entire lives.
You're a woman after my own heart, my lady. As a friend, perhaps there is a matter you could undertake this evening. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
Tell me there's more to your suspicion than the elves were acting dodgy.
That ambassador, Briala, used to be a servant of Celene's. That is, until my cousin had her arrested for crimes against the Empire to cover up a political mistake. If anyone in this room wishes Celene harm, Inquisitor, it's that elf. She certainly has reason. Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An elf savage? Oh, make her forbid!
This is Gaspard's idea of a joke.
Okay, yeah, because basically CPU utilization is pretty much close to 100, and the actual DAI is like barely even getting 50% of that. So OBS is taking up quite a bit more than what I thought it was. Oh, that's better. There you go. Now it seems like we're kind of locked into 60.
There
Okay,
must be
cool.
something here.
We can only hope Celene prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
Yeah, no, Fusselcorn, you are exactly correct when it comes to streaming. So there was, I mean, about 5, 6, 7, 10 false starts before this one finally got going. So this is good. This is fun to do, and I'm glad people are watching and hopefully enjoying. Kind of like I said, the balance for me with streaming and why I haven't done more is, number one, I like to be immersed within the story of the game when I play typically. And hopefully people will get the same out of watching a playthrough. So I'm still kind of trying to find the right balance between shutting the hell up and giving relevant commentary on the story. So we'll see how it goes. one of the things that's a really standout, point, I think, in BioWare's favor is they've gotten good at environmental design. I don't want to say that it's not. Well, actually, the environmental design specifically in Dragon Age Inquisition is some of the best that they've ever done. And I don't want to knock Mass Effect Andromeda again, but because I loved Andromeda. But if you look at the way that some of the landscapes are designed in Inquisition versus Andromeda, even though Inquisition's 2-3 years older, the stuff in Inquisition is just incredible, and especially in this setting, like you just look around, you can see how good it looks. It's one of those things that even as technology changes, there needs to be an aesthetic and in sort of a really deft touch to environmental design. And stuff in Dragon Age Inquisition is about as good as it's ever been in a BioWare game.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Hey, Katie. Yeah, so I finally did get it working, and so now it's working. It wasn't easy. OBS fought me every step of the way. I was triumphant. We were triumphant. I consider it to be a team effort. People were very encouraging and patient and supportive, so thanks everybody for being here. I love how good this game looks. Seriously, it's a gorgeous game. I also tend to walk around too much. I know I have no idea what people's expectations are generally for a stream or a Let's Play. Whenever I watch people just play, like I watch Sorcerer Dave. I don't know how many people are familiar with Sorcerer Dave when he does his Elder Scrolls playthroughs, etc. I wish I was that good, but he's just so good at, like, you start to get immersed with him as he's playing. Like, I really, really feel like I'm playing Oblivion or playing Morrowind when I watch his Let's Plays and his streams, and I don't know how he does it. I just kind of feel like it's almost like he forgets that the audience is there, and I wish I could be that sort of deft at forgetting that you guys are here, and then also maybe providing commentary that's worthwhile every now and then. Anyway, that was my roundabout way of saying I like to walk because I feel like nobody would realistically run it. I literally do that. In Witcher, I do that. In Elder Scrolls, I do that. Dragon Age, Mass Effect, I walk quite a bit. I actually don't like it when a game doesn't have the toggle walk button in there, that you can't even set that. I'm like, I like to walk. I like to look at the scenery. Alright, we'll run a bit. We'll get things going here.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up. Don't worry.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the
Now that I mentioned it,
never reveal your
Josephine
cards.
does look kind of
When you
evil
meet
with
the
this
Empress,
mod.
the
I
eyes
didn't
of
really
the
realize
entire
that
court
before.
will be upon you. You were safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
So some background on the role-playing goals of this character, which I had mostly forgotten. I think when I originally conceived of this character, she was very just kind of pro-elven, kind of Dalish leaning, very pro-mage, not really trusting of most political structures, not trusting of the status quo, not trusting of the chantry, sort of like kind of her main disposition was the elves have found a way to have mages without, needing Templars or the Chantry. Why can't everybody else just do that? Of course, that's not exactly a fully thought out viewpoint, because the elves tend to have, they limit the amount of mages they have in any one clan. That was kind of like the kernel of my role-playing basis for this character. But I would say that she's open to learning. So in a case like this, when Josephine is giving her some advice, I think she's open to take it and trust that Josephine knows what she's talking about.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Cassandra is usually not the subtle or cautious type.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
The choice between Gaspard, Celene, and Briala has always been an interesting one. I don't want to preempt the episode that we just did. You'll hear more about my thoughts in general on that choice come Friday when the new Split the Veil episode is out. But for this instance, kind of from the role-playing standpoint, I think that this character would actually lean Briala. But we'll see. I'll kind of play it by ear here. I'm open to suggestions if anybody has some. I don't know, man. Isn't Zevran just a little bit pervy? Isn't he just a tad pervy? I see some love for Zevran in the chat, which, like, he's a little pushy. Let's just be honest. He's a little pushy. God damn those visuals. Somebody made a comment way earlier in the chat and I forgot to comment on it. Something to the effect of, like, if I had the money, I would build a Winter Palace. I just want to second that sentiment.
Gaspard never struck me as pious. You must think he gains military advantage with the Inquisition.
Monochrome, I romanced Meryl on my first playthrough, probably second, third, fourth. I don't know, I'm a big Meryl fan.
Need to have this jacket let out a little.
This dress uniform is preposterous. Formal armor would have been better.
Shit. I just saw two dwarves from the Merchants Guild go inside. If anyone asks, I'm not here.
You got it, Varric.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A Dalish? No, that cannot be.
I heard Celene was having the entire wing redecorated. But the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
How has the lyrium trade dropped off so sharply?
With so much fighting, demand should be higher than ever.
My contact said there's a new supplier, but we can't track down who it might be.
Interesting.
So yeah, slow and steady is normally the pace that I go at when I play. I might go a little bit faster in this case because I would kind of like to at least finish this quest in one sitting here, but we'll see. Who am I romancing for this playthrough? I think the idea was to have this be a soulless romance, but I think I might have installed a mod that let me pursue the Blackwall romance and the soulless romance at least further than you would normally be able to without cutting off one or the other, because I thought that would be plausible without being like cheating through it too much. I would actually have to check if I remember that correctly, but I think the idea was to do a soulless romance on this playthrough. Yeah, the load times are not fun on this one. I moved DAI off of my SSD to make room for something else, and now I've got it on a normal hard drive, and also the load order that I have for mods, I think for whatever reason, has significantly increased load time.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Lavellen. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
This guy writes better fiction than I do.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
God damn, that's a lot of names.
Pentagast, 14th cousin to the King of Navarra, 9 times removed. Hero of Orlais. Right hand of the divine. Renowned author, Varric Dethris. Head of noble house Dethris, Desher of Kirkwall to the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Lord Dorian Pavus, member of the Circle of Arantium. Son of Lord
I've always
Magister
thought this
Hallward
is
Pavus of Azarian.
one of the coolest
Callum
moments in
Senton
this game or any other one. I don't know why, it just captured
of the forces of the Inquisition.
the moment of
Former
this.
Knight Commander of Kirkwall. Lady Liliana.
Particularly with just how much
Nightingale
time
of
they
the
spent
Imperial
on it.
Court.
It's so cool, and I just feel like it's
Veteran
one of
of
those
the
things in
Fifth
other video
Light.
games that's dealt with in
Seneschal of the
summary.
Inquisition and left hand of the divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
So dope. I love this moment.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celene. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I always thought this was an interesting option down on the bottom if you could just try and be blunt. I think I did have the one character that tries that. Again, for stuff like this, I would just say that our Llewellyn here is not super well versed in politics, but she's smart and she's open to learning, and so we'll kind of try to tend towards more of the astute sort of responses within playing the game.
I am delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
So the middle option is, I know that there's that, particularly during the dancing sequence, you have to be careful not to be too obvious. And so, first of all, I'll talk more about that when we get there. I loved that aspect of it. You couldn't be too on the nose.
I have no words to suffice. Halam Shiral has many beauties, and I couldn't do them justice.
Your modesty does you credit, and speaks well for the Inquisition. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? They in good health? Do they want for anything?
Mother is the same as always.
Meaning she's after you to do more work.
You always take her side.
I don't take her side. I happen to think, as she does, you might attend to more of the estate's duties. Also, do stop slouching.
As to the question of, do people actually like Gaspard? Well, ... Some people do. From what I hear some, it's a rumor. I heard some people like Gaspard. I don't know, but...
Lord Marcelin, Comte de Travers, and his wife, Lady Elodie. Patron...
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone
blood rites and orgies. Oh, I mean, I would say that that our Llewellyn here has a sense of humor, but maybe not quite that sense of humor.
Those stories are little more than wistful thinking, my lady.
Oh, how dull Redcliffe must have been then.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
Alright, I gotta say, Matthias, the eyes wide shut theory is 1 point for the eyes wide shut comparison, I gotta admit.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of...
The dancing is so dull, your worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
Now I'm wondering if I should run to the kitchen to get something to drink so we can do a every time there's an eyes wide shut vibe. Every time we put a point in the eyes wide shut comparison column, I take a drink. Hey Felsicorn, thanks for joining, thanks for being here. I know time zones are kind of a wacky thing, but thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette.
Stop. Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette! That's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celene has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Yeah, so it's 5 o'clock where I'm at here, so I'm probably, I don't know, earlier than a bunch of other people, but if I do get into the habit of doing this more often, I'll, you know, try and keep all the different time zones in mind.
What were they doing in the western approach? It's a wasteland.
How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace without war going on?
I heard that it wasn't...
Does anyone remember the toggle interface? Either is there a keybind for it? I can't remember, or is it a console command? If anyone remembers the console command, that'd be great.
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should organize many hunting dogs as he does.
Make it fine. If I have to clean up another puddle...
Laurent was the love of my life. You remember my husband? Paul. Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
You must dance with me, Commander.
The Royal Wing
You cannot stand
Gardens
about all
again.
evening.
I have
I'm
heard
afraid
they are the
not.
finest.
Thank you.
Look at Cullen with many suitors.
Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
Poor Cullen.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Not yet. It would be easier if people would stop talking to me. Other people. Not you.
I have not gotten a chance. I don't think I've read any of the Dragon Age comics. I hear they're good, and I like comics. I'm a comic book reader, and so I might have to get around to that at some point.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
We need more servers in the...
Now, I will say I have not read the Masked Empire, which I now understand has some pretty serious implications for how you consider the decision to be made in this quest. But, you know, I'll play it by ear. Like I said, I think on this instance, because of the character I'm playing, I might lean Briala, but we'll see how I feel.
Good. I was hoping it would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celene is from her side. Empress Celene is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
So I remember the first time I played through Inquisition, and as soon as Liliana said this, because I don't know if it was leaked out or if everybody else knew that Morrigan was going to make her appearance here. I didn't. I tried to avoid anything like that. And so I remember at this point in the story, I was going, oh, please tell me it's Morrigan. Please tell me it's Morrigan. And finally when she appears, it's, yeah, I was really into it.
How can Celene openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
Janessa B asking who's everyone's favorite DAI character. I mean, Varric is one of my favorite characters, period, but he's not unique to DAI. Out of the new ones, I find Solus to be incredibly interesting, but I like Dorian more. So I guess I might lean Dorian. Scout Harding? Can I say Scout Harding? Is that an option?
You think she's controlling the minds of the court? That's powerful blood magic.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
John, I actually have to, I want to amend that. I gotta throw Blackwall in there. I love, I don't want to go off on an entire rant about Blackwall. What's the quickest way I can say this? He's just a simple man, but I think he has problems, he has redeeming qualities. I love Blackwall as a character. I don't know how I didn't mention that initially, but yeah, Blackwall is pretty high up there.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celene, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celene fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
Not waste his time throwing balls and writing letters. Cassandra does make somewhat of a compelling argument for Gaspard. Julian, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. You say Vivian is being the least well developed. I completely agree with that, actually. To kind of go off a little bit on that idea of Vivian not being very well developed, I think Vivian is a great example of the plot kind of getting in the way of character, or her character potential is limited by the circumstances of the plot. I think I would love to see Vivian return, maybe in DA4, where she's not a party member, maybe not. I wouldn't say an antagonist, but there's something about Vivienne that needs to be. She can't just be a member of the cast that's on your team. She kind of needs to be in some other role where sort of like the size of her personality can come out. I think that actually would have. The problem is if you develop Vivienne truthfully, honestly, she would actually start to affect the plot too much, if that makes sense. So I think that they kind of did the best they could in Inquisition, but Vivian kind of needs more space, so to speak.
Boring. Interesting.
Wait, so that is a portrait of Meredith, correct? Or who is that supposed to be a portrait of? Because to me it looks like Meredith from Kirkwall. Also just want to call out the musical score is just, it's subtle and I don't know, it's just really evocative. It really sort of adds to the sense of sort of mystery and political intrigue. So for anyone who might just be joining playing Dragon Age Inquisition, we're playing Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts, basically assassination plot, political intrigue. I assume if you're watching this you are already familiar, but for anyone who maybe just stumbled in, Dragon Age Inquisition, really one of the best, most interesting, involved story quests in the game.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
DA2 is always worth a replay. I mean, honestly, I love DA2. And it's amazing, too, because at the time I was so convinced it was, you know, the least good BioWare game. But now, I don't know where I rank it exactly, but I really have come to appreciate it.
Interesting.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Our contact with the Dalish barely made it out in time.
Did he say what they were after?
Something about a well. He was almost incoherent after the attack.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for too many. I can't carry them all.
I had no idea.
Wait, so was there a plaque under the other one that I was looking at? I don't know. I'll have to go back.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over.
Interesting. I had no idea. Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. I'm curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life, if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
Another time, my lord.
I always found it curious how nobody else notices that there's just random blood stains on the floor.
Inquisitor Llewellyn, don't head into the servants' wing if you value your neck. Not one else gone in there tonight and come out again.
Our man was supposed to make a pickup in the garden hours ago. Bastard's likely dead by now.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
I can't imagine Gaspard being vitriolic. What's the matter?
The Grand Duke bears a grudge against the Council for refusing him the crown. He's threatened death if they refuse him again, collectively and individually, along with their vassals. What backwater did you come from? Everyone knows that.
Crap, I lost... Okay, so I lost a little bit there. Of court approval. And literally the second after I clicked that one dialogue option, I realized it was the other one that I should have picked. As much as I would normally try and like maximize court approval and like go through it really carefully, in this case I'm not going to bother reloading to try that again. We'll roll with how it goes.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that?
Yeah, Philippe is a jerk. I don't know how I forgot such an essential fact is Philippe is a jerk.
Well, well. What's this?
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important. The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor. Empress Celene is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
Let me guess. All she wants in return is for me to help her defeat the Duke.
Oh, this is not meant as a bargain by any means, Inquisitor.
The support of the Empress is not conditional. It will be yours once the negotiations are concluded.
The Empress is the most skilled diplomat in Thedas. Gaspard is hopelessly out of his depth.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
The ladies in waiting are equal parts creepy as they are charming. I don't know what to make of that. She can really play. Oh, yeah, this is my dude right here, Dorian. And also, by the way, for those of you who are not used well, I'll let you see for yourself.
This is all so familiar. I half expect my mother to materialize from the crowd and criticize my manners.
Look at that handsome motherfucker. Some people don't like no mustache Dorian. I think if you combine these two mods, it's like peak Dorian.
What if your mother were actually here? Where'd we be then?
Short one mage after he's dragged out by his earlobe.
I'm having difficulty picturing that.
Picture me a young boy of 5 years then. She certainly always has.
No, okay, this is peak Dorian. This is Dorian in his true form. From this point forward, this is the only Dorian that I accept. This is canon Dorian in my mind. He has a mohawk. I'm sorry, if you really think carefully about it, mohawk is more Dorian than mustache Dorian. It just is.
Is this how the elite of Tevinter carry on?
You could almost mistake this for a soiree in the Imperium. The same double-dealing, elegant poison canapes. It's lacking only a few sacrificial slaves and some blood magic. But the night is still young.
Have you seen anything I should know about?
I'm trying to keep watch for magic. You know Tevinters. We can't cross a room without casting a spell. If there are Tevinter agents here, we'll find them.
So is it? Someone says this is straight Dorian. I'd like to think that this version of Dorian transcends all categorization. He's beyond any sort of categorization of that sort. He's prime Dorian. He's like a convergence of all the different multiverse timelines, and it's just everything. It's Alpha Dorian. It's also Omega Dorian. It's just the all-existent, omniscient Dorian. This is the ultimate Dorian. I don't care what anybody says. Mohawk is hashtag bring back the stash. No, we are not bringing back the stash. I appreciate the stash fans. This is the ultimate Dorian.
I appreciate that you were willing to come here.
And expose myself to all this exquisite finery and exotic wine?
Dorian did
likely
all
to be
too.
friendly. That's all I meant.
It's true. You'd think I smelled of cabbages the way they wrinkle their noses. It's of no concern, but thank you.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celene.
Now, I will say, if we do end up doing a stream together, it's probably going to be Katie in charge of the mods. Because I do have my mod list, but we might do something where she picks the mods. It's always curious to me that literally no one notices or has a problem with me climbing up the thing. Yeah, now the timer starts because I'm here, but like, what about when I was climbing up?
I need to get back before I'm missed.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
Interesting. I had no idea.
So have I romanced anyone in this playthrough yet? No. So we did have that question earlier. It was intended to be a soulless romance playthrough, but then I installed a mod that lets me at least pursue the Blackwall romance as well a little bit longer. So yeah, ultimately I think I'm intending it to be a soulless playthrough. I don't remember if there was anything else in this area that I needed to get, and I think I've only bothered with this puzzle once. I don't really remember what you get for doing the puzzle.
since his regiment joined the fighting.
Just in case anyone forgot, I just want to remind everyone. Alpha Dorian. Greatest Dorian in the history of Dorians.
I'll be ready for your signal, provided this.
Bam! Look at that handsome motherfucker. Crap. Was that just? Are we still? How's the stream doing? Okay, we're back. I don't know. YouTube still says. And there it goes. Huh. Okay. It was off. Now it's back. I don't know. This might have to do. People saying I'm back. Stash is still gone. The universe is punishing you for taking away Dorian's stash. No, see, I see that as being the other way around. Dorian's mohawk is, in fact, so incredible that the entire internet actually just broke because it realized that this was streaming and it just couldn't handle it. It exploded the entire internet.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
Is it because it's wireless? I do not have an Ethernet cord long enough for that purpose, unfortunately. Although I may want to consider it.
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Also, good call out. I was almost rushing to there, but fashionably late. Good job. Thank you for the reminder there, not so smart guy.
Well, well. What have we here?
Well, well, indeed.
The leader of the new Inquisition. Fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
I'm here on important business concerning the entire Empire.
As am I, it seems. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celene on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
Fun fact. Dress Morrigan does not have feet. Well, that is a fun fact.
I don't know. Do we?
You are being coy.
I'm being careful.
Not unwise, here of all places. Allow me to speak first, then. Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celene is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
Mod Morrigan to have feet. Hashtag Morrigan needs feet.
You left Celene alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough. For the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you...
This sucks. I hate to be paranoid. It's just every time I see that notification come up, I'm like, did it seriously drop connection again? Okay, yeah, I always wish that Morrigan could join you. It's one of the great, not regrets, but I would have liked to have seen at least a little more Morrigan in Inquisition.
If you truly want answers, help me find them.
I already told you. I must return to protect the Empress. Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Great question. Is it just me or is Morrigan hotter now? Morrigan is sexy as fuck, and I say that with all due respect. It's definitely the fact that she's older, more powerful, even more, I don't know how to put it. Conniving's a bad term. She's just shrewd. She's smart in addition to being powerful. I think the stream should be back. It hiccuped again. Is it back for everybody, technically? Whew, okay. I am sorry about that, guys. I mean, if it does end up if I do need to end up just getting a really long Ethernet cord, I'll probably just do that. I want to say for this playthrough it was, I'm going to say God Baby. I think it was, yeah, Old God Demon Baby. I'm pretty sure. It's been a while. I didn't abandon it because I'm still coming back to it every now and then. But this, this whole run-through of Dragon Age kind of got paused, so I'm having trouble remembering. Thanks, fangirl, for the tip on the coin. I never remember where these damn coins are.
This could be worth checking out.
Someone will be held accountable for this.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for. This was no servant. What was he doing here?
Does this guy seem out of place to anyone else?
Is that the Chalon family crest? What have you been up to, Gaspard?
Time to have a word with the Duke. Venatori agents!
First of all, what? Why the hell does Varric have a... What? Why is Varric holding daggers? What on earth just happened? Why would you do that, Varric? Why? Oh, that's right. I neglected to Varric to equip anything. That's true. Which I can't now because I'm in combat. Ah. I was like, why is it taking so long to take out these basic enemies? Like, yeah, I forgot to put their stuff on.
get back before I miss. The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
Now I'm like, I don't remember what gear I had on them. Jesus. Well, first of all, let's just make sure Varric has damn Bianca, which I still haven't really upgraded very much on this playthrough. Alright, and the reason why I didn't technically forget to re-equip, I just always feel like, I don't know, immersion, something immersion, make them do it in the formal clothing. I know it makes it harder, but I just kind of normally go with that, but I forgot about the weapons. And now I'm losing court approval. Crap, okay. What did I say about wanting it to be more challenging, not having gear on? Because now I'm kind of regretting that. Let's see. Let's do that. If you can. This. Varric also attack there, and I desperately need to do this. So there we go. There it is, much better. Move a bit. Okay, I might backtrack on the whole no armor thing because Varric just went down now. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so now might be a good time to actually go ahead and throw some actual armor on. And I just, what did I have for Cassandra? I probably wouldn't have put her in the Templar Commander thing. I'm going to assume it was that one. That's actually a really cool looking armor for Cassandra. And I'm assuming this would have been what I had for Dorian. Very, very stylish looking there for Dorian. That is a serious, that is one serious fashion statement. Alright, so we're going to throw on the Carta coat here for Varric. Hopefully this helps. Somebody also said, is The Witcher 3 friendly for new people? In a weird, and somewhat unfortunate way, it's the most friendly for new people. Kind of leaves you a little bit out of the loop as far as the story, but gameplay-wise, it's definitely the best. It's the newcomer ones you can get into. I should probably hurry up as I continue to lose court approval. Here we go. Okay.
Fancy meeting you here. Inquisitor Llewellyn, slumming in the servants' quarters with the rest of your people, for once. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
Can you make a drinking game on every time Dorian's stash gets mentioned you drink? I mean, at this point, you guys have had me seriously fucked up quick. This is the popular theme of the stream, which I'm delighted and horrified that Dorian's mustache is now the most popular topic in the chat room.
I'm glad to meet you finally, Ambassador.
Your reputation for getting results is well deserved. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people, but you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
Gaspard killed him, I think. The knife has a Charon crest on the hilt.
I knew it. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
Are you sure he's behind this? He was too easygoing for a man plotting treason.
Don't let his charm blind you. He's Orlesian. That smile is his mask. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down. Nobody is touching Blackwall's beard, okay? This blasphemy, people. Yeah, getting rid of Dorian's mustache, easy. Getting rid of Blackwall's beard, I don't even think that's possible. I think if Blackwall shaved his beard, underneath it would just be more beard. Like, he doesn't even have skin. He just shaves his beard and there's just more beard.
What do I have to give you in exchange for this army of spies?
Help me, help our people. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
There's so much conniving and backstabbing here. Makes me homesick.
I have lost a ton of court approval. This took way longer than I would have liked.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
So what are we thinking here? Are we thinking support Briala, since my character is an elf character who's pretty elfy? I'm kind of leaning Briala for this playthrough. That's the question. So Celene Briala or Gaspard puppet Briala? Yeah, so that is the question. I mean, I guess Gaspard... And then there's the truce thing
That would
also.
be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Okay, well I got some back from being fashionably late again. Oh wait, did I miss the locket? Holy crap.
Inquisitor Lavellen. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you, Your Grace?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
I find so many of these options to be odd. Like, I'm seeing someone, I'm like, yeah, well, she just kind of wanted to dance with you. I don't understand. Okay, anyway, let's get down to it.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. Have the Dalish gained a sudden passion for politics? What do you know about our civil war?
I assure you the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Perhaps it does. I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center of everyone's world.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Floriane?
I hope we are of one mind on this.
In times like these, it's hard to tell friend from foe. Is it not, Your Grace?
I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. I wonder what role you will play in it. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
An excellent question. I might ask the same of you, Your Grace.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations were the national sport in Orlais.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
It's a relief to do something other than fight demons.
That scene I've always found to be really interesting. I thought it was a
face
great way
demons and
to
horrors.
explore dialogue
These
option
ones are simply
choices, sort of
better
mixed with the dance.
Were you dancing with Duchess
I will
Floriane?
say one thing that's
More
really
importantly,
fun.
what happened in the servants' quarters?
I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good
One thing
news.
that's really
It appears
fun
the
is
peace
actually
talks are crumbling.
choosing some of the less politically savvy answers on purpose. Like if, on one instance I was role-playing a character who just hated politics in the game and all that, who, was just being true to himself and blunt. And, I mean, obviously that doesn't get you the court approval, but sometimes I find that to be highly entertaining. Also, I know some people are saying maybe it's possible to go back for the locket. I missed it. Is it possible? Yes, no, to go back? If so, I'll make a run back there.
The Grand Duchess tried to convince me Gaspard is the traitor, but I'm not sure I buy it.
Florian and her brother are thick as thieves, but she would give him up in an instant to save herself.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celene is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
I thought we were here to stop the assassination.
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celene alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celene. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Hey John, thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you. Have a good night.
Not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais?
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thedas.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celene. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Briala. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
So I am kind of leaning Briala, but are we saying without the locket, I can't do Celene Briala? I would have to do Gaspard Ciala? Because Celene did burn down an alienage. There is that, right? So my character would probably be very anti-Celene for that purpose. Yeah, I think I'm going to go no locket and then do Gaspard and Briala. I think that's what I'm leaning right now.
How should I support Briala? I assume she can't be Empress.
She can't. She can, however, be the power behind the throne, with Gaspard.
True. She could never control Celene, not with their history.
So Celene dies and Gaspard takes the throne. Briala would need a way to control him, some kind of leverage.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access, and in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
I should look around.
Janessa, thanks. Yeah, I hope to do more streaming. It hasn't always been too successful. I've done a couple of attempts that I didn't really care for, but this has been fun. I'm enjoying this so far. Thanks everyone for being here. Hope everyone's enjoying it.
My third husband, Pierre, lost his life to Rosalia. I swore off marriage forever. Lady Inquisitor.
I'd like your opinion of this gathering, milady.
It's doomed to fail, of course. Celene knows that. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in living memory.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
Would you care to dance, Lady Mantillon?
You, Inquisitor, are a delight. One does not often find foreigners so well versed in the game. But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps you will save me a dance for later?
Good evening, milady.
Mistress Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again. You look radiant.
Marquis, it's been far too long. How's your family in Valchevin?
No complaints, my dear, no complaints. You must come to the chateau to see the girls. They will be overjoyed.
Oh, I've missed them very much. Little Sylvie must be 10 now, no?
11, and already up to my elbow. Oh, how they grow.
Perhaps I shall call on you soon.
Excellent. Now I must dance with the Dowager. It was lovely to see you, my dear.
Look at Lady Cambien's slippers. Trimmed with pearls. And emeralds. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose and you're concerned about buckles on shoes.
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambien's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambien acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
I just want to say I really do appreciate the way that they depicted the game, and it's a little bit on the nose, but they got a good mixture of politics and spycraft, and it's fairly well, it is unique to Dragon Age. There's certainly other series that do something similar, but I don't know. The more I play through quests like this again, I appreciate even more the unique balance that Dragon Age has on that. Talking about shoes, but using it as an actual dissection of different, political, socioeconomic spheres intertwining.
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Do you really think Briala should be given influence?
Celene has been in power long enough to expect support. If we secure her throne, she will be grateful. But such gratitude will pale beside that of one we raise up from nothing. Who is lower than the elf? If we place Briala in power, With Gaspard as her mask, her debt to us will be great indeed. And Gaspard will have the throne he has wanted. With conditions, of course. I suspect he will still find it gratifying.
Now would be a good time, I guess, to turn in what secrets we do have to Liliana, as someone, I think a few of you mentioned.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Whew, court approval at 100. Yeah, I think that Liliana should be somewhere in her mid-30s, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think she was probably mid-20s in DAO.
Inquisitor, is there something you needed?
What's our best course of action?
Assuming the claims against Gaspard are false, I believe he'd be the strongest ally. But if it means Celene's death, can we make such a choice in good conscience?
Briala's an option.
One that only complicates matters further.
We'll talk later.
Cullen right to the point. One that only complicates matters further. I mean, again, I guess you could say it's standard at this point in all BioWare games, but just little details like that, the fact that your advisors and party members have their own views and opinions just always makes things more interesting. I think definitely when I was playing BioWare games before, it was always like, get as much approval as you can from the companions, and then you start to realize, especially in Dragon Age 2, how fun it is to kind of have rivalries instead of being nice to everyone.
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We are always delighted to speak with you, of course. Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briala are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Orlaisians.
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
What's happening with the peace talks now?
Things do not look promising.
The Grand Duke is as stubborn as always. He will not accept anything but victory in battle.
But the night is young, and Her Majesty will do everything she can to persuade him.
My investigations turned up something interesting. Perhaps you could tell me something then. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
Milady Inquisitor, may I present Lady Couteau?
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade.
What exactly are the ladies-in-waiting? Cringe. I'm going to go ahead and go with cringe. I don't know why I would describe them exactly like that. I mean, they're somewhat charming in their own way. And then they're also oddly terrifying. They're a bit Stepford Wives kind of vibe to them. Just Orlaisian.
Inquisitor Lavalin, how many of the guests have mistaken you for a kitchen servant? You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I had a question about you, Briala.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. That's all that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celene and I have history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
What do you mean, we had a falling out?
She betrayed me. Turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge to save her political reputation. It wasn't personal. It's the game. That's how all Orlesians justify these things to themselves. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
Little Miss Fangirl commenting, Briala annoys me so much sometimes. I agree that she annoys me so much sometimes. I think there are also times when I think it's really impressive how effective she is given her station in the Orlesian court and in Orlais, etc. She's quite resourceful, and I'm actually noticing just now, I really like the voice actress. It's a really unique and very appropriate delivery to the lines. It's just shrewd enough, but it's not too much. Also, on a slight technical note, I'm really bugged by how low quality those textures are of the rock or the stone or whatever it is behind her. It's like oddly out of place because Inquisition is such a good looking game.
If she doesn't win you back to her side, what do you intend to do?
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child putting all my hopes on a single ball. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive or persuadable as his cousin. But with time and sufficient blackmail, he might work with us.
I'm surprised you'd admit that, considering the circumstances.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celene than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celene and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
I want to know more about the peace talks. What are you hoping to gain from tonight's negotiations?
A voice. Simple enough, isn't it? My people have none. We've lived for centuries amid the lowest ranks of society. No one hears us. No one sees us. If the elves of Halam Shiral were elevated, if we had an elven noble at court, we'd have recognition. A voice.
How much can a single member of the court do?
It won't remake the world overnight, if that's what you're asking. Our problem is invisibility. The people in power are used to ignoring us. We're not actors. We're scenery. We need elves in positions where they can't be overlooked. We need to force humans to take us seriously.
Yeah, I think you can see Briala two ways. At once, I just kind of saw her as being an usurper, just kind of getting in the way, stirring things up. But then you can also really admire the fact that she's trying to shift the cultural and political landscape all from behind the scenes, like from one of the lowest starting positions that you can be in.
How will you persuade the Empress to elevate an elf to nobility?
It is already in place. Celene knows she needs us to tip the balance of the civil war in her favor. All we have to do is wait. She'll exhaust her other options and come to us for help. Then, we'll name our price.
I assume the role of elevated noble will fall to you, the Lady Briala.
Let's be honest, Inquisitor. The sole elven noble in the court isn't going to have a position of power and luxury. But that's the future. We need to focus on the task at hand.
If Celene were killed, what would happen to your plans?
Assuming I'm not the one blamed, it would be precarious. I've been working on Gaspard, but he's like a charging bull. It would be easier to rein him in if I had something that could hurt him.
You might be interested in what I found. It's about Gaspard. You think Gaspard was behind the murder of that council emissary and the Tevinter agents in the servants' wing?
Gaspard is ruthless. He wants the throne, but to conspire with Tevinter, that's low even for him. If you intend to stop him, you'll need irrefutable proof. His supporters will accept nothing less. Celene will never end the talks until she has no other choice.
He's been threatening the nobles on the Council of Heralds.
Typical. Gaspard's always been a bully, regardless of the Chevalier Code.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.
Now there is also the truce option, correct? Is that still viable if I get blackmail material on all of them? I've actually never done that, which I actually realized today. I think at one point I was planning to and had like read up on it, but I don't think I ever have done the one where I make them all work together. Damn, Gaspard's been hitting it pretty hard there.
My friend, come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? You've been busily charming the court, I see.
I have a question about the peace talks.
And I can't remember. I don't think anything in these side conversations with any of them locks out anything, right? I kind of feel like I wouldn't be telling either of them too much. I mean, I told Briala about what I had on Gaspard, but then I could still spring something on her later. Monochrome. Has anyone played Vampire or however word? I don't know how the internet has decided we're going to pronounce that. I feel like it should be Vampire, but people say Vampire. I played a little bit of it. A Vampire, and I liked it. I just felt like it was trying to be a lot like other games. I ended up refunding it on Steam after playing it for about 3 or 4 hours. I like it. I'll probably get it again maybe when it's on sale. So I would say if you like dialogue-driven games and you like vampires, that's probably the most important thing. It's all set at night. It's very dark. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Gothic, maybe? Not Gothic's maybe not the right term. It's Victorian London, and it's got a lot of vampires in it. Draw from that what you will. It's not exactly my favorite setting, but the fact that it has so many dialogue options, you might enjoy as a BioWare fan.
What are you hoping to achieve at the negotiations?
I intend to take back what is rightfully mine. Celene stole the crown through politicking, but I am the rightful emperor of Orlais. The Empire has been mired in intrigue for too long. We need a clear course of action.
Yeah, Moxie, I'm with you. Right? I mean, if you play on PC, Steam sale is going on right now. There's so much good stuff. I got Dishonored 2 for like less than $15. I got the big expansion to Dishonored 2. Thief, the Thief remake that came out a couple of years ago was $5. You know, the Witcher series is on sale if you haven't played that and you like story-driven RPGs. Divinity 2 is on sale. There's a bunch of good story-driven stuff on sale right now, so...
What action did you have in mind?
The Empire is declining. We cannot allow Nevarra and Ferelden to chip away our borders. I will see Orlais return to glory as the strongest nation in Thedas.
You intend to return to expansionism.
I like to solve problems in the simplest manner, my friend.
War is hardly simple, my friend. That's the thing about Gaspard. That is the biggest drawback to him, anyway. You know, some people like Gaspard. I hear some people like... It's a rumor, but I hear some people like Gaspard. Despite his warmongering drawbacks.
If something were to happen to the Empress, how would that change your plans?
Celene has not declared an heir. If the Maker called her home, the crown would fall to me. But the Council of Heralds would try to implicate me in any misfortune. If they succeeded, the crown could pass to my sister, or one of our more distant cousins.
How have the negotiations been so far?
The port won't last the evening, I'm afraid. We will end the night with nothing settled. Which should surprise nobody, but it will disappoint my sister. I don't know why she had such high hopes for this ball. Florian always was hopelessly optimistic.
Michelle, yeah, I gotta say, that's probably the biggest drawback for him. I don't think that this character in particular really likes Gaspard, might be willing to put up with him in some sort of maybe the truce agreement, or maybe with Briala really being the one pulling the strings from behind the scenes. So thanks everybody again for being here. I know a few people have joined more recently. Some of you have been watching now for a while, I think since I started, so shout out to all of you guys. This has been fun so far.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
What is Lady Pin? Are you happy to see me at all, Josie?
It may not have been wise to attend this particular engagement, Yvette.
I didn't want to come. Mother made me. At least Haram Sharal has such pretty gardens. They're so darling. I took out my parchment.
Not another book of poetry. Inquisitor?
Hello?
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of. The dancing is so dull, your worship. But the Empress's gallery is...
Yvette?
Sorry, Josie.
What do you think of helping Briala take control?
Oh, you were...
Josephine's face looks horrified.
Whatever Briala offers, she, of anyone here, has the least reason to stay loyal to us.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Yeah, definitely seeing this whole scene play out into Winter. If we head there for DA4, that would be awesome.
I had no idea. Good to know. Interesting. Just gossip.
I'm glad to see I'm not the only one who appreciates walking, because I've always done that. I think in pretty much all RPGs. Definitely the first time I played through it. But even on certain ones on replays, if you've never done it on The Witcher 3, especially with the friendly HUD mod, it's great because you can turn off most of the HUD, make it contextual, walk around. That's a great, environmental game as well. Now I'm going to try and get to everywhere that I need to get to here. I don't remember finding the one, because I guess I need to find Celene's bedroom.
Are we going to sneak around to look through the Empress's?
I feel like walking in this is the equivalent of trying to drive legally in GTA. I'm not kidding. I do that too sometimes, depending on what the situation is. But not just that. I walk around in GTA also. Okay, looks like this time people kept their weapons. Now we just need armor. Okay.
Unmentionables now? Just how drunk are you, boss?
Here, however, I do need to
Is anyone there? Somebody? Anybody?
try a little more urgency. That is a hell of a "this is Sparta" type of kick. It's one of the coolest moments, just jacking that person out the window.
Are you all right?
I don't think I'm hurt. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briala told you to come to this wing of the palace.
Not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
This wing is sealed. How did you get in here?
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
Is there anyone else who knows the code and the drop location who could have written those orders?
I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. No one else would send me here. It had to be Briala.
What were you trying to find in Florian's old room?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
So this room belongs to Grand Duchess Florian?
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shiral since she was a child. But this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
It takes great courage to come to the royal wing unarmed.
It's not courage to blindly follow Briala's orders into a trap. I knew her. Before. When she was Celene's pet. Now she wants to play revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Something like that could destroy Briala, if it were known.
No. Some know she has a history with the Empress. But they believe she was just a favored servant. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Most Orlesians would say that's Celene's scandal, not Briala's.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Make her protect you, Inquisitor.
See, that really gives me a thought about the role-playing aspect in this case. I'm thinking about how my character would approach this situation. At first I was thinking, lean towards supporting Briala, sort of being in control of Gaspard. It takes Celene out of the picture, as that one elf was saying at one point. She refers to the fact that Briala was technically Celene's pet. I'm thinking my character being an elf and sort of pro-Dalish and pro-elf, would she take offense to the fact that at one point Briala wasn't so keen on helping the elves? She was more just kind of caught up in her own relationship with Celene. And so now, does the truce kind of make sense? Like, in other words, instead of just being in favor of Briala because she's an elf, does she almost sort of take offense to the fact that at one point Briala was side by side with Celene, and definitely wouldn't support that power play again, but maybe wouldn't necessarily be in favor of Gaspard being controlled by Briala either? I'm starting to think the truce also kind of makes sense from a role play standpoint, is what I'm saying. Like, maybe she just wants to play all of them off of each other because she doesn't trust Briala to be consistent with the pro-elf stance. think the other spot I need to get to is this away.
What happened here?
Nope. Where is everyone? Well, I'm in the United States. I herald. You can't ask. It's a secret. It's a trade secret. We're all spies. I'm from Texas. Chat room. Sound off. With however much specificity. If you want to give us your zip code, go for it. I wouldn't advise it, but let us know. Let us know. Country, state, city, if you feel like it. Where's everybody from? That's a good question. I'm curious myself, because I know we have different time zones at play here. Okay, where is Celene's bedroom that I'm not seeing immediately here? So I'm short a Hala statue. Is that what it is? Is it this one that I need the extra Hala statue? To the left when you first enter this area. Okay, so I'm short Hala statues, so then I would need to have the additional ones to do the truce option. Is that correct? Is that what we're saying? And then in that case, do I need to hunt down some more Hala statues? There's another one on the balcony in this area. I don't think I've ever bothered going through and getting all of the Hala, so I'm totally unawares as to where any of them are, pretty much, except for the super obvious ones. I can go back and forth, right? On the balcony near Dorian, I did get that one. Right? I'm pretty sure I nabbed that one. Back in the servants' wing. Okay, I think there. I think I did get one in the servants' wing.
Just gossip.
You must.
I had yet to see the device that the ambassador to Morrigan told me
Interesting.
Is there one in the trophy room? I can't remember.
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
Yes, and?
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
Okay, so I've found 4. How did I lose 1 court approval? Oh, right, trophy room, got it. Okay, so I think I still need a couple more Hala trophies. I just got 1 more. I think when I was by the door it said I had 2 and I needed 5. So I think I just need a couple more. I've now gotten the one in the trophy room. I got the one that was up on the balcony near the courtyard where Dorian is. And I can't remember if I got the one in the servants' quarters. I'm going back to check now. Okay, so in the back left corner, right before you jump to the fountain in the back left corner of the garden area. I'll be real honest again because I never bothered with these. How the hell am I supposed to grab that one? This is good. Jump on the barrel, hop on the beam, walk over. Ah, okay, that makes sense. And why did BioWare think that a platforming section was a good idea here? Jump on the table and to the right, like there's a torch holder. Jump near the hull, jump near the hull up, pause, and then interact with it. So you're saying like not pause, but pause. Okay, I'm assuming that's what you meant. Okay, so from here I would be jumping and then pausing and then interacting with it. Okay. Ah, God, this feels so scary. Okay, here we go. Is it weird that I'm quick saving before doing this? Okay. Haha, success. And then we are saying that there's another one in the courtyard, is that right? Yes, we did it! Success! Okay, but I think we were saying that there is perhaps one more. One more in the servants' quarter. I don't remember if I got the other one in the servants' quarter already, because I feel like I maybe snagged one. I can't remember. All right, I popped back to the main palace and then back in just to not keep losing so much approval. And we're saying in the chat another one of the servants' quarters before you jump to the fountain. Okay, cool. So we'll go back there. Then I think I'll have enough. Then we'll be able to get the blackmail information for Celene, and then I believe we'll be ready to shut this mofo down. 3 hours. I honestly cannot believe I've been going for 3 hours. This has actually been really fun doing this as a stream, so who knows, maybe more of this in the future. Normally, I'm sure, like many of you, I'm an introvert. I recharge solo. Gaming is one of those completely non-social activities that I take part in, but this has been really fun. You guys have been super helpful, and it's been cool to have the conversation and dialogue going while I play.
There might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Yes, boom, got it. I love the eyes emoji. And yeah, you know what? It would be interesting if there was a certain Dragon Age lore expert on one of these. If only I knew someone like that. Started playing on PC with an Xbox controller. I do that. There's a number of things that I play with controller on PC. Okay, I think we are ready. I think we're set to finally bring this drama to a close here. Once we get our blackmail information with Celene.
Are we going to sneak around to look through the Empress's unmentionables now? Just how drunk are you, boss?
Oh, I guess I probably should re-equip again. And I think they all have... Okay, good. They still have their stuff on. Ha 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 ha! Voila!
There must be something here.
And what do we have here? God damn it, it is very eyes wide shut.
What happened?
It's not what it looks like. Honestly, I would have preferred it if it were what it looks like. The Empress led me to believe I would be rewarded for betraying the Grand Duke. This was not what I hoped for.
You're telling me that Empress Celene left you naked and trussed like a roast duck?
Please, I beg you, don't tell Gaspard. The Empress beguiled me into giving her information about plans for troop movements in the palace tonight. She knows everything. Everything.
That is some clever
Surprise
cinematography
attack
right
has been
there.
counted before it ever began. She's turned it into a trap. The moment he strikes, she'll have him arrested for treason.
I don't know which is worse. Celene for using such a tactic or him for falling for it.
Oh, Orlaisians.
Oh man, look at that. Look at that amazing mohawk.
I'll protect you from Gaspard if you're willing to testify about Celene's trap.
I'll do anything. Anything.
Well, that was Orlais.
Just gonna remind everybody, Alpha Dorian.
What happened here?
You painted Orlaisian assholes!
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. You're such a challenge to read. I had no idea if you'd taken my bait.
I had a feeling you were mixed up in all this.
Such a pity. You could almost be Orlaisian, if you were just a little quicker. It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Why kill the Empress? What does Corypheus want to achieve?
Celene's death is a stepping stone on the path to a better world. Corypheus will enter the Black City and claim the godhood waiting for him. We will cast down your useless maker and usher in a united world, guided by the hand of an attentive god.
What exactly is in this for you?
The world, of course. I'll deliver the entire south of Thedas, and Corypheus will save me. When he has ascended to godhood, I will rule all Thedas in his name.
You won't get away with this, Florian.
But I already have. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celene myself. All I need is to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball, Inquisitor. They'll be talking of it for
Always
years.
interesting, but not surprising how foolish all of Corypheus's lackeys are to believe that he's going to fulfill what he's promised them. But not an unusual theme within a lot of stories. Okay, time to fuck these guys up. Here. Let's see. You doing that, and then we need that. I have no idea how Dorian got stuck in here. was slightly tougher than I would have liked. I'm so rusty when it comes to VAI combat right now.
Trust those tits. What was all that? Were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted demons coming, right?
No more demons. It's safe.
Maker? I've never seen one that close before. I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd feed me to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Duke Gaspard lured you out here.
Well, his sister. But it had to come from him, didn't it? And all that garbage she was spewing doesn't mean anything. Gaspard had to be the mastermind.
Your accent sounds Ferelden. I thought you were one of Gaspard's mercenaries.
Born and raised in Denerim. Seems like I should have stayed there. The Duke wanted to move on the palace tonight, but he didn't have enough fancy chevaliers. So he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais. Sticky, punsy cheesemongers.
God, let us not forget just how bad the beards are in Dragon Age Inquisition. Good lord.
I need you to tell that to the Empress.
Impressively ruthless of Gaspard, if predictable.
Do these people ever not stab each other in the back? Just curious.
You saved my life. I owe you. And Gaspard still hasn't paid me. You want me to talk to the Empress, or the court, or sing a blasted song in a chantry? I'll do it.
Alright, let's get the hell out of here. So now we have got enough on everybody. Lock to the other side. Wait, which way do I get out? Okay. Crap.
is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Yeah, the hair for this Lavellin is actually the overall the mods that I use for this Lavellin is some of my favorites ever for any character mod.
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
Now, in this case, we're stopping the assassination. I think I've always done it publicly, if I'm not mistaken. What's the difference between just detaining her? Yeah, that's the one that I've always done. Okay, so that's what I've typically done, and it's quite fun to do it publicly because you look like a badass in court.
Wait here, Cullen. I'm going to have a word with the Grand Duchess.
What? There's no time. The Empress will begin her speech any moment.
We owe the court one more show, Your Grace.
Inquisitor?
The eyes of every noble in the Empire are upon us, Your Grace. Remember to smile. This is your party. You wouldn't want them to think you had lost control.
Who would not be delighted to speak with you, Inquisitor?
I seem to recall you saying, all I needed was to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. When your archers failed to kill me in the garden, I feared you wouldn't save me this last dance. It's so easy to lose your good graces. You even framed your brother for the murder of a council emissary. It was an ambitious plan. Celene, Gaspard, the entire Council of Heralds, all your enemies under one roof.
This is very entertaining, but you do not imagine anyone believes your wild stories?
That will be a matter for a judge to decide, cousin.
Gaspard? You cannot believe this. You know I would never... Gaspard?
You lost this fight ages ago, Your Grace. You're just the last to find out.
Quite satisfying, as always.
Your Imperial Majesty, I think we should speak in private, elsewhere.
Your sister attempted regicide in front of the entire court, Gaspard.
You're the spy master. If anyone knew this atrocity was coming, it was you.
You don't deny your involvement.
I do deny it. I knew nothing of Florian's plans. But you knew it all and did nothing.
I don't know which is better. That you think I'm all-seeing, or that you're trying so hard to play innocent and failing.
Enough. We will not bicker while Tevinter plots against our nation. For the safety of the Empire, I will have answers.
Ha! Okay, so here we go. Try to force the three leaders to a truce. Okay, so this is basically what I've never done before, which I've always wanted to. Okay, so we're gonna go with this because they are all really at fault. Let's be honest.
Every one of you is implicated. You all conspired to allow this to happen.
That's a bold claim, Inquisitor. Are you prepared to defend it?
As a matter of fact, I am. So I guess I get to do all three of these, but, yeah, okay. Well, this is the most obvious one.
Gaspard brought hired mercenaries into the palace for a coup. I have the word of his captain.
Oh, Gaspard. So predictable. Brutality is your only talent.
The Empress knew what you were doing and let you get far enough to make a public ass of yourself.
Surprisingly underhanded. Even for you, Celene.
And Briala was playing both of you. She murdered your ambassadors and sent you each forged letters.
Even if I did, you can't touch me.
No one will defend you once it's revealed that you and Celene were lovers when she burned Halam Shiral's alienage.
You've made your point. What do you want?
Oh, how interesting. The option to actually say you work for me now. I guess that maybe doesn't have any direct impact, but it's quite interesting. They have been outplayed. I mean, generally the whole point of all of this was my Llewellyn wanting something that's most stable for Orlais, but also for Thedas. And so basically, yeah, the whole point of this was you're all a bit wacky, but I'm not going to help any of you with your machinations. Deal with your shit. Work it out. So yeah, work together.
You are three of the best minds in the Empire. You could do so much for Orlais and your people if you stopped fighting.
It is remarkably optimistic to believe that the three of us could ever forget our differences, Inquisitor.
I cannot believe you want to make a speech. This is foolish.
We have no choice. The nobility requires an answer for what happened.
Unless you want to pretend the war was all a dream. That would go over well. No more dithering. We make the cut swift and clean. Kindest to all of us.
Lords and ladies of the court, we are pleased to announce that an accord has been reached. Our cousin Gaspard will now hold a place of honor in our cabinet.
Friends, we assembled are the leaders of the Empire. We must set the example for all Thedas. We cannot be at war with each other, while the Fade itself challenges our borders.
We must stand united or surely we will fall alone.
We will save Thedas from calamity, but only together may we accomplish this.
We will heal our wounded country. A long road of reconstruction lies before us. But tonight, we celebrate the arrival of peace. Let the festivities commence!
The Orlesian nobility make drunken toasts to your victory, and yet you are not present to hear them. Do you tire so quickly of their congratulations, Inquisitor? 'Tis most fickle, after all your efforts on their behalf.
There's plenty of opportunity for that later. I wanted some air.
I had no wish to interrupt your breathing, only to bring news. By Imperial decree, I have been named liaison to the Inquisition. Celene wishes to offer you any and all aid, including mine. Congratulations.
I had no idea you were interested in joining the Inquisition.
The assignment has been given to me, regardless of my personal interest. Celene knows you face an opponent who wields great magical power, which is far more important than her own curiosity. You will require my knowledge if you are to defeat such magic. Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais and to myself. Thus, I am not opposed to the appointment.
What skills do you have that would benefit us?
I have knowledge which falls beyond the realm of most mages. I suspect this is also true of Corypheus, thus it behooves you to add to your arcane arsenal, yes? Mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a close, after all.
When you say knowledge beyond the realm of most mages, do you mean blood magic?
I know many obscure, forgotten, and forbidden arts. Some of it you might consider blood magic, yes? Should thought of that frighten you, allow me to offer reassurance. Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your disposal to make use of or ignore as you desire.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you at Skyhold.
So that is a note, right? I didn't bring the love interest either. I guess in this case I would have needed to bring Solus, which I was totally not thinking of when I was bringing people in.
Is everything all right? You look troubled.
Things went according to plan for once. I couldn't be happier.
Tonight was a triumph. You should be proud. Is there anything I can do? Can I get you anything? A drink, perhaps?
It's time to head back to Skyhold.
Of course. It will be good to go home.
Well, that is it. Wicked Eyes, Wicked Hearts, 3.5 hours. By far the best time I've ever had streaming. Thanks everybody for coming in and joining on this. Definitely one of my favorite quests in Dragon Age Inquisition, really throughout the entire Dragon Age franchise. And so I was really glad. This was totally last minute. We definitely ran into some technical difficulties, issues, bumps along the road getting this started, but this has been super fun. And it would have been nice if we had the love interest come along, but you know, Josephine is always that good confidant and friend, kind of wrapping up the experience. This was a blast. I can definitely see myself maybe doing some more streaming in the future.
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
You know, there might be more.
I am
to
well
say
aware
on
of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lady Inquisitor, please, may I have a word with you?
How may I assist you, revered mother?
With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
Yeah, thank you.
I have already told
I had the chance you just interrupted me. Yeah, that's
and
true.
Seeker Cassandra cannot be spared.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
But surely with the support of the
Empire,
Empire,
to have the conversation
the
going.
Inquisition
Like I
will
said,
not be harmed by the
gaming for
loss
me
of
is
just two
really very
souls.
much an introverted thing that I normally do.
Liliana
But
and
streaming kind of
Cassandra
has
would have
its
to make
benefits.
that
Kind of
decision
having
for
people
themselves.
interact was
And
pretty
they
fun. So I
certainly
can.
will, at a later
I am
date.
starting to see the appeal, though I was
Inquisitor has
reluctant
only
to
just
do it before.
returned and has important business to attend to. You must excuse us, revered mother.
And yes, finally, Josephine does look kind of evil with this mod.
Don't let them detract from your victory at Alam Shiral. We've beaten his wardens and stopped his intrigues. Soon, Corypheus will have no place to hide. Cullen is hoping to press our advantage. We'll plan our next attack when you're ready.
Alright, that just about does it. If I have anything else to say about potential other streams, I will announce it out on Twitter. If anybody has any ideas for things that I could be streaming or doing, definitely let me know. And once again, for the last time, big ups, props to all of you. Thanks so much for joining. I will see you all next time. So, Masaranes.